Saturday morning, jumped out of bed.
In this topic, the learning objectives that we are going to learn is how are we going to find and record a balance on a ledger account? And what does debit and credit balances means? The first question is, why accounts need to be balanced? It needs to be balanced at some point during the trading period of all the accounts in existence must be balanced. So the cash book is balanced periodically to determine how much money is left in the bank account or how much cash the business has left. Similarly, the ledger accounts are balanced to determine how much the business owes to other people and how much it is owed and how much has been received from or spent on the various activity. In this topic, we are going to learn also how to balance an account. So the procedure of balancing account is quite straightforward.
Today we're focusing on balancing ledger account. It's just a short lesson, short, sharp, sweet, and just really tidying up the ledger account work that we've done over the last 2 days. Balancing a ledger account. So here goes the ledger account named bank. It starts with the March 1st balance, and across the course of a week there are 3 separate transactions, one involving accounts receivable, the other accounts payable, and shop fittings. So the first step to balancing a ledger account is that you add both sides of the account, so the debit side and the credit side, and that's going to tell you the nature of the balance. So the largest side, if the largest side is a debit side, then the balance will be a debit side. If the largest side is a credit side, then it will be a credit side. Okay, so we're adding up these two sides. The first side, the debit side, 9,000 plus 2,750 gives a grand total of 11,750. On the credit side, you can see it's much less. Those two transactions total 3,200. First step done. Second step, we're going to find the difference between the two sides. 11,750 subtract 3,200, and the difference is our balance. So that's 8,550. The difference between the debit and credit side will be the balance. Now step 3, enter the balance in the account on the side with a smaller total. So in the case of the bank, this is going to be the credit side, and that's going to make both sides balance. Both sides will now total the same amount. The date used is usually the last of the month. This is when the balancing is typically carried out, but just for simplicity's sake and the few transactions here, we're just going to use the end of the week. Fourth step, you can see it's very step by step. You need to write these steps down, practice them, remember them. Now we're going to total both sides. They should now have the same total. And the next step is to transfer the closing balance down to the opposite side, so that when the account is open for the next week's transaction or the next month's transaction, the next day's date is normally used. And this is exactly what it looks like. Simple. 4 steps, step by step by step by step. And we have a nice, tidy, balanced ledger account. Now just a note, the totals appear on the same line and are underlined twice with dollar signs in front of each figure. And since the bank account is an asset, when we open the next balance for the next week or the next month, as we typically do, it's going to appear on the debit side of that ledger account. Super simple, super fast. I hope you've got it. Those 4 steps, write them down, practice them, remember them. Thanks. One more thing. If there's just one number, so the account, nothing's been done in those accounts over the course of the time period, usually a month, we do nothing. It doesn't involve a balance. Just a balance, do nothing. Leave it as it is. So, one number, do nothing. That's the rule. So if there's one account starts with a balance and no transactions at all during that period, we leave it. If it's a new account, there was no balance to start with, and we just enter one transaction, the one number, that's the rule. We do nothing. We just leave it as it is. Leave it as it is with one number. Okay, that's it.
Saturday morning, jumped out of bed and put on my best suit.